I'm David Sutter from Wyopreps.com. It's time for our Athlete of the Week honors this week, presented by Premier Bone and Joint Centers. We're worthy of Wyoming. One of this week's Athletes of the Week, Brynn Bider from Rock Springs, who had a terrific start to the outdoor track season at the Rock Springs Quad last Saturday on her home track. So that might have helped out a little bit, even though it was kind of cool. Ran 12.96 and won the 100 meters, ran 26.94 seconds to win the 200 meters. Also captured the long jump going 17 feet 9 3/4 inches, and was on the winning 4x100 meter relay team for Rock Springs that clocked a time of 54.16 seconds. And Brynn joins me. Congrats on being our Athlete of the Week. I guess from your perspective, how did you think things went first meet out the gate in the spring?
I was really excited with my 100 because I've never got into the 12s yet until this year. So that was really exciting. And then it was my best 200 time outdoors, which was also exciting. And then my long jump, I was really happy with that because indoor state I got 18.5 inch. So I'm getting really close to 18 in outdoor season, which is good also. And then the 4x1 was just it was good. I don't know what else to say about that.
Well, you count on three other teammates for things to work in a relay, and we'll talk a
Yeah,
little
for
bit about
sure.
that. But you mentioned the indoor season. I wanted to ask you, how is that transition as a student athlete for you personally, going from indoor to outdoor?
It's really good because we don't have an indoor track. So it's like nice to actually be able to run on a like actual track and an actual runway for long jump.
Okay. What are some of the adjustments that maybe you had to make first meet going from indoor to outdoor?
Um, Probably the workouts because our workouts like in the hallways and indoor aren't very hard. And then in outdoor it's like a big change, so it's like a lot of more running.
Okay. So you mentioned you're pretty good with your times. Obviously, I know you want to get better as the season goes along. What are some steps that the coaching staff there is kind of trying to take with you here early in the season to keep you going in the right direction, Bryn?
We've been doing a lot of block starts. I think block starts are helping majorly because in the past years we haven't worked on as many block starts. And then some speed work for sure.
I know that you're an all-around athlete. You've done a lot of things at Rock Springs. What is it about track that kind of you maybe fell in love with to a degree? Because I know you're going on to Idaho State after this year for track and field.
I just like I've always loved track. Like it's always been my passion for sure. I've done long jump since fourth grade. So that's been super fun for me just to see how I progress over the years.
Now, obviously, as a runner and a jumper, that takes a lot of toll on your legs. How do you keep yourself fit and, trying to stay away and knock on wood that you stay away from shin splints and things like that? I remember long time ago for me, dealing with shin splints back in the high school days a little bit. How do you go about maintaining a good level of fitness and trying to stay injury free?
I usually get a lot of massages. So like I just go get a massage every once in a while and just like reset and reboot and I take my rest days off.
Okay. What do you think the competition is going to be like around 4A, especially in the girls' side and in the sprints and jumps that you're involved in?
I think the sprints are very competitive for sure. Everyone is like in the lower 12s this year, which is very close together. And then the jumps are pretty competitive also.
Is there anybody or any team that you're kind of looking out for, or you'd like to see at some point to get just a better idea about?
I like always seeing like the Thunder Basin schools and Kelly Walsh always because they have pretty good jumpers usually and sprinters. So,
Okay. Certainly understand that. And obviously, you probably saw a few of those competitors during the indoor season.
mhm.
Team wise, a good start. You helped Rock Springs win your quad meet. What did that mean to the team? What did that mean to you? And how do you think this team continues to get better this spring?
It meant a lot to me because I just love like competing and I even though it was just a quad, it was really cool to like compete at our own track because we usually only have like one or two home meets. And then what it means to the team is I just love like seeing like my teammates excel and do their like what they can do best. So
All right. Certainly understand that. Well, you get another one this weekend, I believe. Well, knock on wood, weather permitting. with the
Yeah.
Ted Schroeder Meet a Hope, and then it'll be kind of on the road. You guys will be on the yellow dog there for a while. But hey,
Yeah.
Brent, congrats on a great start to the season. Thank you for a few minutes, and congrats on being our athlete of the week.
Thank you so much.
David Sello here at Wyopreps.com, and we continue talking about our athletes of the week presented by Premier Bone and Joint Centers. We're worthy of Wyoming, and one of our winners this week, Isabel Vasco from Green River High School. All she did was go out in one match last week and set a school record with 11 goals, added 2 assists. So if you add that all together, she had 24 points in one match because 2 points for each goal. But she scored probably more goals than some teams might score the entire year. I'm giving you a hard time, honestly, but how do you go out and score 11 goals in a match?
I was just in top form that day and everything was just seeming to click. Like my positioning, timing, and finishing were all on point. I just took advantage of every opportunity that I had. And it was just one of those games where a lot of shots that I took were just going in.
Well, it must be like in the zone, I guess, so to
Yeah.
speak. Like a 3-point shooter's burying threes or something, because I know you play basketball and you had
Yeah.
a really good basketball season. But back to soccer, you had a hat trick in 4 minutes. How in the world does that happen?
Yeah. It was right off kickoff. I stole a pass. It was like, I think it was the first pass of the game, and I just went straight to net and I scored. And then it was just my midfield winning the balls and giving me through balls. So
All right. I know you're a great soccer player. So what do you work on in the off season coming into this year? Or what are some of the finer points that you're really trying to improve on?
yeah, so I would say one of the biggest things I'm working on is probably my left foot. So in a lot of games, when teams are playing defense on me, their coaches like say force or door left because my left is less accurate and like less power on it. So I've just been working on that. So if they do force me left, I'm able to still strike with accuracy, and I've gotten better at it. And I've also worked on the cardio piece of it. 90 minutes in a soccer game, that's a lot to play. And if you can't play at like your highest potential for most of the game or all the game, you're not helping your team. So those are the two most things I've been working on in the off.
Well, for you, and I know I've asked you this before, but where does your love and joy for soccer come from? Because you are a great all-around athlete, and as I mentioned, it's not you don't just play soccer, but where does the ability and the talent come from with soccer?
Yeah, I would probably say my dad. He played soccer his entire career, and ever since I could walk, I had a soccer ball at my foot. So I started like from rec, and I've played club, and I've played ECNL, and I've played ODP, all the highest levels. So I've just grown to like love to compete there and just love to win and just play the game. So
I got to ask you, difference between 3A and 4A, or have you noticed that yet?
yeah, I don't like yet. We've played kind of like the I would say unexperienced teams right now. So, but I think once we move into like the bigger schools like Casper and Jackson, I think it's just going to be a faster pace because more of the girls play competitive soccer in those higher or the 4A schools. So it's just going to be a faster pace. And I just think that we need to just match that pace to be able to compete with them. But I think we should. I think we're playing pretty good right now.
What is Coach Robles really emphasizing with the team right now early in the season?
We've done a lot of passing, I would say. I think the first 30, 40 minutes are just passing, different passing patterns. The whole game is just passing in soccer. So we've just been working on finding feet, maybe a through ball if that's what we want. So it's just the accuracy. And we've also been focusing on defense and just limited shots on the offensive side, because if we can limit the other team's goals, then we have a better chance of winning.
You mentioned some of the better teams. You're going to get a big time test on Thursday,
Yeah.
going up to Jackson to play second ranked Jackson. What do you see when you see the top level teams? What do you think separates the top level teams in this state right now?
I would say just I would say the passing thing again and just being able to attack in speed. I think there
Okay.
are faster girls up in 4A, and just being able just to just kind of keep them, like not stop them because it's going to be hard to stop them, but like just keep them at like level and just being able to keep them in their own half, not in our half as much.
Do you ever get called ball hog on the field?
uh no, maybe in a joking way with my teammates sometimes, but
Okay. They just want to win, right?
yeah.
Okay. I get it. I'm just curious as to people trying to get in your head. and try and get you off kilter a little bit from a
No.
position standpoint. So when you play a team like Jackson, or when you'll play Kelly Walsh and Natrona, some of the higher level teams, do you relish those matchups a little more because maybe it's a level that you're used to
Yeah.
playing at, that higher caliber competition?
Yeah. I mean, winning like by 10 goals, like it's whatever. Like it's not really fun though. Like winning those close, like nail biting games, like maybe having the win, like the winning goal or something. I just think the adrenaline off that game and just having to compete harder to win the game, I think those games are way more fun.
Okay, I certainly understand that. And maybe the team learns a little bit more about itself
Yeah.
in those games.
Yeah. I think as a team we have to play better against those teams. So it's just building upon that.
Well, hey, congrats on the school record. Again, 11 goals, 2 assists. She had the hat trick, folks. 3 goals in 4 minutes, the first 4 minutes of the match. Isabel Vasco, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Wish you
you.
best of luck the rest of the way. We might be catching up again. Who knows? And congrats on being one of our athletes of the week.
Thank you.
David Settle here at Wyopreps.com, continuing to talk about our athletes of the week this week, presented by Premier Bone and Joint Centers. We're worthy of Wyoming. Our boys winner this week is Gavin Robertson from Lovell High School. Started off the outdoor track season with 2 outright wins and a tie for first in the third event at the Burlington High School track meet last week. He ran 11.58 seconds in the 100 meters, won the long jump at 20 feet, 4.5 inches, and then went 6'2", tying for first in the high jump. That helped Lovell finish third in the team race. Gavin joins me right now. Gavin, congrats on being our athlete of the week. For you, and from your perspective, how would you describe your first outdoor track meet experience last week at Burlington? How do you think it went?
It went pretty good. I was definitely excited for the first meet with it being outdoor. Just came off of an indoor season, so just really looking forward to it. And I performed pretty well, better than I did last year at the first meet, so I was happy with that.
All right, that's a good start then. How would you characterize your 100 meters to go 11.58 right out the box? Was that good, bad, indifferent? How did you feel about it?
I felt pretty good. I had a pretty good start, and then my top end speed kind of carried me up. But yeah, it was about half a second faster than my first one last year. So it was nice to get down to that 11.5 range at the first meet.
Take me to the long jump. Obviously, you win that one outright, going 20 feet, 4.5 inches. Uh, you know, what worked well in terms of your technique to get you out that far?
Something I've been really focusing on is pushing more into top end speed going into the jump rather than slowing down before. I kind of had a problem with that before, but I don't know. I'm kind of focusing on that now, and it's helped me to go, and I'm hoping to get back up to where I was last year.
Okay. High jump. You tied for first there, going 6'2" with another individual. Talk about high jump and break that event down for me if you wouldn't mind.
That went really well. It was a PR, so it was really nice for the first time of the year. Um, Also with that, I kind of really focused on speed because in high jump I never really carried any speed. I just focused on going up. But I really talked to my coach and he said, just carry a little bit more speed and that'll help push me through. And it was good. I got close to clearing 6'4", but it was 6'2". I was really happy with that.
So a good start. Describe for you the transition from indoor to outdoor and some of the adjustments you have to make, during the outdoor season.
Yeah, it's definitely really different jumping and running and everything. It was nice running on an actual track again and jumping on that. Uh, I really do like indoor, but just I don't know, the fresh air really helps and just I don't know, just the surroundings is really nice.
What's Coach Sanders and the rest of the staff there have you guys focusing on early in this outdoor track season?
Early on, we really focused on our approaches for long jump, then high jump. Then we worked on accelerations and our top end speed for sprinting, and it's really been good for the team. I've seen a lot of improvements already so far.
So obviously you guys got a baseline now. How do you keep improving from your perspective as the season goes along?
I just keep pushing myself in practice and helping by pushing others. Other people really push me, and I don't know. It's just that competition aspect of it that really helps me to get better.
Describe the level team this year. I know you you lost a couple of key contributors last year that graduated when you guys took second at outdoor in 3A. What about this year? What are kind of the prospects? What do you look at when you see the team around you?
It's definitely still a strong team. While it is, we do miss those seniors that graduated last year. We got some freshmen coming in that are really athletic, and so they'll help push us up even more. And then some returning athletes too that are doing better already, which is it's really looks good for the team this year again.
Obviously, you had the 3 first place finishes last week. Do you have favorite events that you kind of want to stay with, or do you mind going into different events from meet to meet?
I'm gonna change a little bit up. Like I think at the next meet I'm not running the 100. I'll go to the 200. And then I think I'm going to stick with long jump and high jump for this meet. Just see if I can push myself even more up, get a better standing, just get the techniques and everything down a little bit more.
Certainly understand that. And what do you love about track? Obviously, you've been successful indoors, outdoors. What do you love about the sport of track and field?
I really love the competition, and I don't know, I like it more than the other sports because I don't know, it's kind of like me, I'm pushing myself. And so just being able to compete with myself and then having those that I do want to compete with and like the friendships too. I've met a lot of good friends from around the state and I still keep in contact with them. It just really makes me like the sport. Love it.
Well, Gavin, congrats on a great start. Thank you for a few minutes of your time and congrats on being one of our athletes of the week.
Thank you.